What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams of The Distance. I'm here to give my thoughts on Arthur Abraham versus Jermain Taylor. This matchup takes place at 168 pounds in the first round of the Super 6 Super Middleweight tournament. This matchup is very intriguing because both of these men held the Middleweight championship simultaneously about 2 years ago. So this causes some intrigue, and also the fact that Arthur Abraham's a big puncher. And Jermain Taylor lost 3 of his last 4 of the big punches, so that brings a little more intrigue to the matchup. Arthur Abraham, he's coming in, and this is his first matchup at super middleweight. Actually, he did fight at a catchweight of, I believe, 164 pounds last year against Edison Miranda in a rematch. And Jermain Taylor, this is his 3rd matchup at super middleweight. He lost to Carl Froch back in April, with 30 seconds left, was knocked out. He ran out of gas, so he lost the match. Because Froch had the stamina and had the power, had the strength to go on and knock Taylor out. With less than 20 seconds left. So this matchup is very intriguing, just due to the fact that he did lose. That Jermain Taylor did lose to 2 big punches in Pavlik and Froch. So now he's taking on Arthur Abraham, who's just as big of a puncher as Pavlik and Froch. So for Taylor to win this matchup, Taylor's going to have to stay on the outside. He's going to have to be very active. If you look at his matchups with Hopkins, if you look at the very first matchup, in the opening rounds, he was very active. He was throwing all kinds of combos. He was smothering Hopkins. He was using the ring. He was, circling. He was moving, just moving around. He was just very active. And I guess it was his youth that got him the points on the cards to win the matchup. Though Hopkins did have a late rally. Taylor is going to have to be that Jermain Taylor again. He's going to have to be very active. He's going to have to be very focused. He's going to have to pick his shots. He's just going to have to be perfect in this matchup, because just due to the fact that he lost 3 out of the 4, and 2 of those people being big punches. So, and Arthur Abraham is no different. So I think Jermain Taylor should just be active, throw combos, take advantage of the fact that Arthur Abraham isn't a fast starter. It kind of takes Arthur Abraham a while to really get things going. So Jermain Taylor needs to take these early rounds. He needs to take at least the first 5 rounds. Just be active. He does have problems with gassing out and punching himself out. So I want to say Jermain in this matchup, like I said a second ago, he needs to really pick his shots instead of just throwing, because Jermain Taylor has a habit of just throwing punches, or throwing punches continually, and just getting tired. So Jermain Taylor, he needs to just be active in this matchup, at least in the early going, and with Arthur Abraham, he needs to really stick to a stiff jab. Arthur Abraham does have a tight guard, so we'll see what Taylor will do to Arthur Abraham. Arthur Abraham, has trouble. I think he seems to have trouble with a boxer that can move, because Arthur Abraham seems to be flat-footed. He likes to come forward. So this could be a good matchup, a good showcase for Jermain Taylor, and this could be a victory that could propel him back into elite status, especially in this tournament. Arthur Abraham, he's gonna have to go to the body. He's actually gonna have to start off fast. He's gonna have to go to the body, just due to Jermain Taylor's past problems of stamina and losing gas and stuff. He's gonna have to really go to the body. He's gonna have to really see if Jermain Taylor is ready to go the full 12. Arthur Abraham is a tough fighter. He's a strong puncher. he has a powerful right hook. So he's gonna have to try to land that. He's gonna have to try to make a late rally. He's gonna have to work a lot more in this matchup than he's ever worked in his career. So because he's the most competition I think he's faced, most competitive fighter he was in the ring with, I think, was Edson Miranda. And Edson Miranda, recently lost to another fighter in the Super 6, Andre Ward. But Arthur Abraham's a tough fighter. He broke his jaw and continued to fight. So he's a very tough fighter. He's gonna come forward the whole matchup. So Arthur Abraham is gonna have to go to the body. Especially in the later rounds, he's gonna have to go to the body. He's gonna have to at least try to land that right hook. He's gonna have to jab. He's gonna have to box. But what I think is gonna end up happening in this matchup, I think this matchup could end up in the same result as Pavlik, the first matchup with Pavlik and Carl Froch. I think Arthur Abraham is gonna land the shot that's gonna knock out Jermain Taylor because it's just Jermain Taylor's history. And I can't base his whole career on those two losses, but in a lot of his matchups he really lost steam at the end, and you can't lose steam at the end with a big puncher like Arthur Abraham. So I think that Arthur Abraham is going to get either a late TKO or a late KO in this matchup. But I'm not going to count Jermain Taylor out because this matchup, just like every matchup in this tournament, is a toss-up. Anybody could win. I think if Jermain Taylor could pick his spots, if he could circle around the ring the whole matchup, he could win. He could actually win this matchup. So this is, and judging these and predicting these matchups are actually really hard for me because anything can happen in this tournament. So this is what makes all these matchups intriguing. But I'm gonna say Arthur Abraham wins it by a late KO. I think he's a bigger puncher than Carl Froch. I think he could move up to 168 pounds very well. He's not gonna be drained as sick or weak or anything. I think he's gonna move up very strong. So we're gonna see a stronger Arthur Abraham at 168 than we did at 160. So I'm gonna say Arthur Abraham late KO. That was my prediction for that fight. Thanks for watching.